All right. Well, we are live. We are live. We are live. We are live for our Wellness Wednesdays.
Yes, happy Wellness Wednesday.
Yeah, man. Listen, and don't we need it? Last
Yes,
week, last week, I didn't talk to you a lot last week. Last week, I was going through it. And I was like,
yes,
where is the Wellness Wednesday? And I've been waiting for Wellness Wednesday all week.
right. Yes, I think that we have to really take care of ourselves, every day, but it's always good to have like that extra boost, in the middle, especially in the middle of the week, because Monday is hard, then Tuesday,
Mhm.
and then Wednesday is like, they call it a hump day.
Yeah,
Because
hump day. Just get over that hump.
yes, to get over the hump because you need the extra push. So I think the topic that we're talking about today is actually good for, for it to be Wellness Wednesday for hump day.
Right.
So we're going to be talking about negative self-talk.
Right.
And this is a good topic to talk about in regards to change when we're talking about habit changing, changing your habits. We were talking about in the beginning how to change certain behaviors and how the thoughts and emotions that go along with it. But we know that it's not easy, right? Because we still have like that inner voice inside of us telling us to do something or not do something. And it's the
Yep.
negative self-talk. So I always say like that inner voice is like that inner, it's like that inner, it's your inner critic voice. It's
Mhm.
like, it's the inner gremlin voice.
It to me, it's like you know how they used to have the angel and the devil, and it's
Yes,
like
yeah,
one of them
yeah,
is talking you
yep,
down, and it's the devil is what it is. It's call it what it is. It
exactly,
is the devil
yep,
in the flesh
yes, it
talking to
makes
yourself
you,
like, yo,
yeah,
and you think it's you. You're like, oh, what is all
it's
of
not.
this?
And
Yeah.
honestly, it is you, but it's you at your worst form, because it
Mhm.
helps. It makes you doubt yourself. It makes you second guess yourself. It makes you, just think about the worst parts of you. When we have that negative self talk. So when last week I posted the habit tracker, and the reason why it's good to track the habits and like actually seeing how much you're actually changing that specific behavior and the thoughts and emotions that come with it, because the negative self-talk is going to creep right in,
Mhm.
because you're going to tell yourself, even just by checking off and saying like, oh, okay, I haven't smoked a cigarette today, oh, I haven't ate no sweets in 5 nights. Guess what's going to happen? That negative self-talk is going to say you should have a cookie tonight just because you haven't had a cookie in 5 nights. you know
Right, right. Aren't you craving a cookie? Don't
Aren't
you
you
miss
craving a
that?
cookie? Exactly. So you have to find ways to talk yourself out of it. And there's a lot of things that kind of like, and like make us feel like we have to do certain things. Like we can be, there's a lot of like, what is it? The word I'm looking for, like things in the world that kind of like make us feel like we have to. I'm trying to find a word that.
What is it like
Yes,
influences
there you go. Thank
or
you. Yes, influences.
that's
That's.
okay. Okay.
I'm
I
like,
got
well,
your
I'm
back. I
drawing a
got
blank
your
for
back,
the.
boo. I got
Yes,
your back.
we're influenced by so many things. Social media is one of them. Okay,
Right.
like we can look on social media and feel like, oh my god, like this person is losing weight. This person has lost. I see it all the time. I'll be on TikTok and I'll be scrolling and see like they post like one person went from 293 to 193, and then they post all the stuff that they did in 5 months. They lost 100 pounds, and then
Mhm.
instantly we think, what? I've been doing this and this and this for a whole year. Why can't I do this? Instantly we start the negative self
You
talking.
don't know what it is that they're doing. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
To
You don't
get
know
you to
what it
lose
is. People
weight.
don't
Like
tell you exactly what they be
people
doing.
do it. You can do it,
You
right?
can do
But it's
it.
like
you
it's
know
like you gotta be safe. You gotta be safe, and it's so
exactly.
sustainable. So sometimes everything that you see on social media, you like,
It's not
is
true.
that real? Is
It's
it
not real.
fake? If it is real, is
Exactly.
it sustainable? Is it something that I
Right.
want? Like, what do you want for your life? And
Right.
stop comparing,
And
right?
stop
We should stop
comparing.
comparing ourselves to other people because that
Right.
makes us feel away, right? We should just
Exactly.
be going against us, right? Like
Right.
I am going up against myself to be the
Right.
version of myself that I want to be. I'm not looking at
Exactly.
you, coach sis. Like I'm not looking at you to be
Right.
like, oh man, Cicely's out here doing her thing,
Right.
therapy and helping all these people, and should I be, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't do that.
Exactly.
My sister says.
Right. So we have to stop beating ourselves up. We need to really try to practice like self-compassion and replacing like that negative inner voice with a much kinder voice, because we start to beat ourselves up over like our own mistakes, even when it comes to like our, careers, our jobs, just anything. Like we just really start to beat ourselves up about it. So we have to try to figure out like a way to fix that. So I'm just going to get right into it. I read a book, and I believe I mentioned it before. I have to send you the name of the book, too. And it's called What You Say to Yourself, What You Say When You Talk to Yourself. And it's by Shad.
You were going to post this
yes, I'm going to post
the group. And I asked you, I remember, I asked you specifically, I was like, Cicely, text me.
Yes, I know. I know. I have to do that because this book is amazing. Like, I really love. He has actually a few books, like just around, like he has another one called How to Change Negative Self-Talk too. But I specifically read What You Say When You Talk to Yourself, and I think it's like just the title alone. It's like, oh, wait a minute. What do I say when I talk to myself?
I want to hear more. Yeah.
And just within the first few chapters of the book, I was just, amazed for the simple fact that we don't realize what we say when we talk to ourselves until somebody else points it out to us or, acknowledge it to us. Like, because they're doing the same thing, or maybe because like we read a book, or maybe because we heard something in a podcast, or maybe we watched something on the TV. Oh my goodness, I'm reading this listen, I'll be reading books, okay? I'm reading this other book called, I'll tell y'all in a little bit. I'm reading this other book called, hopefully it don't start playing immediately while I press it. Oh, set boundaries, find peace. And when I tell you that this lady is just chewing me up, okay? chewing me up, like in the first.
She's getting you, huh?
Showing me up. I'm just like, oh my God, that's me. That is me. So when you start to realize that like you are this person, you want to make change automatically. You automatically want to make these changes. Because when I read this book, I was like, oh my God, that's me. That is me. So in the book, he talks about these 4 levels of self-talk, right? So the first one is negative self-talk, right? Yeah. That's the first one. And in that first level, that's the level of I can't. And oh my goodness, so I have a life coach, and when I was talking to my life coach, the whole time I'm talking to her, I just kept saying is I can't, and I can't do this, and I can't do that, and I can't. And she was like, you need to stop. Like, and I was just like, oh wait, what am I doing? She's like, everything you're saying is I can't, and I'm like, I didn't even realize it though. Like, or I kept saying I need to, right? So that's the second one. But the first one was I kept saying is I can't. And I realized like, Dad, why am I saying that? Like, because I know I can, but my words are saying that I can't. So because I'm telling myself that I can't, yes, like, and I was just so mad at myself when I realized that I didn't even realize that I was saying I can't. Because I know that I can, but my words are saying the complete opposite. So if I'm saying that I can't, but in the back of my mind, I know that I can, there's a disconnect because
it's the cognitive dissonance, really.
It's the cognitive, yes, like because you're saying one thing and doing another. Because now, because of that, nothing's happening. Nothing is actually happening. There's no action.
Go in 2 directions at the same time, you end up going nowhere.
Exactly.
Right. That's what it is.
Exactly. That's like, if we want to make it a little bit more simpler, like let's say like, oh, matter of fact, when I can talk about myself because I know me.
Okay, there we go.
But when I broke my ankle almost 2 years ago, for all I know, I kept saying I can't run now because I know I broke my ankle. And I know that my ankle hurts for the most part. I kept saying my ankle hurts, so I know I can't run. I kept saying that, but in the back of my mind, how would I know that if I didn't try? Right. I didn't have surgery. I didn't heal from it. I could do everything else. So I'm like, how would I know that I can't run until I joined this run club? And next thing you know, I'm running. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I can run.
You like, whoa, the ankle works.
I'm like, wait a minute. And my ankle did not hurt not one time while I was running, not at all. So I'm like,
Mhm.
the whole time I'm telling myself that negative self-talk, that level one thinking that
Yep.
I can't run. And because I kept saying that I can't run, I didn't do it. I did not do it.
Mhm. Right, because you are fulfilling that prophecy
The
that you
feeling
cannot
that
do
I
it.
was.
So absolutely, you're
Was.
absolutely right. You cannot
Yeah.
do it if you tell yourself that you
If I
can.
can't, if I, and so I wasn't doing it. And then but I got motivated by the other people around me because I'm just like, let me just try it, let me see. And then the worst thing, I was like, the worst thing that happened to me is, so, I'll be hurt out here, but I knew I was around enough people that I could get enough help. But then I'm just like, well, let me just see what happens. I won't run too long. Let me just see what will happen. And I was
Let me
like,
run from here. What I be doing? I'm like from here to that stop sign,
yes, and I
or
did
like
it.
from here to that tree. Like let me just get
Yes.
it in a little bit.
Exactly. Now, ever since then,
Absolutely.
I run on a treadmill now. Like, let me take this up a notch.
Let me just see if I can run for 1 minute. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Walk, run
exactly,
for a minute, walk for a minute. All right, then ease yourself into it. But
exactly.
ooh, that negative self-talk is dangerous though.
It's
You're right about
dangerous.
that, but
So then we have the level two thinking, which is this is where we recognize that it's a need of change, right? So we say things like I need to or I should, but this actually works. Level one and level two, it works against you. It doesn't work for you, and it creates guilt and disappointment because again, you're still not doing it, but you acknowledge the fact that you need to do it. Like I need to go to the gym. I need to eat healthier.
but that ain't helping.
But it's not helping. I need to study. I need to go to the grocery store. I need to clean up. But we procrastinate. We procrastinate, and then by the time it's time to do these things, we still like we get mad about it. Like so now we're mad at ourselves, or we're guilty by the time it gets too late to actually fulfill
Because
the
you waited
task.
to last because you
We
waited to
waited
the
to the
last
last
8 minutes
minute.
to get
We
to
wait till the
it.
last minute.
Like,
Exactly. So it's not actually working for you, and it's not work. It doesn't work for you. It works against you. And honestly, he said in the book that these two levels, this is where everybody is stuck at. Nobody, we're stuck here.
I know
And
that I be in level
stuck here.
two thinking sometimes,
Exactly.
I try to have higher level thinking most of
Exactly.
the time, but and I know you've heard me, I need to do this. I got so much I need to get done. I
Yep.
need to finish this book. I
Yep.
need, you know what I'm saying? I need to get things ready for this retreat, like so many different things. And it's like, just do it.
Yep,
Just
just do
do
it.
it.
Just do it. And it's like, but it's like, how can I do it? How can I change this habit? How can I do that? Like, it's
Just
just,
do it.
you
That's
just have to
it.
do
That's
it. You
the
just
answer.
have to do it.
You
You
ain't got to
just,
overthink it. You just
right.
do it.
Right. So then that's when we get to the level three thinking where this is the decision to change. You get so sick of yourself that you just like, you know what? I'm done. So then you start saying things like, I never or I no longer. So instead of saying like I need to, or instead of saying like I want to, or I'm about to, you say I never or I no longer. So you already tell yourself, even if you still do it, you're going to tell yourself that you no longer do it. So you're going to say
Mm.
like I no longer eat unhealthy. Even if you just,
Okay, got it.
even if you just ate unhealthy yesterday, you're going to say I no longer eat unhealthy. Today's a new day. I no longer eat unhealthy
Now,
because now.
is that considered the same as affirmative statements? So instead of
Yeah.
like, we hear about there's still a negative word in there, right? I no longer, never, is it if we switched it and said I eat healthy, is that the
Right.
same thing or is that another level?
It's just a different level of thing because the thing about it is you're trying to just rephrase, like it's just a new programming of the subconscious because the thing about it is like it's like you're trying to remove yourself from saying what you just did yesterday. You know what I mean? Like even if you just did it today, like you just did it, but you're just trying to tell yourself like, you know what, I know I just did this, but after this, I no longer do it
I
anymore.
don't
I'm
do it
not doing it no
anymore.
more. I'm done. So like it's telling yourself that I'm now ready to make this change.
Yeah.
I'm,
See, and
I'm
what
ready
I
to
like,
make the change.
I like that, but I would like it even more, right?
Mhm.
Shout out to what's the name of the author of that book?
Shad Hymns letter.
There we go. Shout out to him.
Right, right, this was, it's Hempstead or
My
Hems.
memory is really
I'll be messing up his last name so
there
bad.
we go. Okay, so but yeah, shout out to him though, but I would like it even better if it were make an affirming statement
Right.
about how
Yeah.
you see yourself.
Right.
Not
Right.
how, because it's the same goal. I
Right.
like to say I see myself this way, not how I'm doing things right now.
Right.
But having an affirmative state, an affirmation to me is a little bit more positive than being like, I don't do that anymore. And that could be true. I don't do that, but this is what I do.
Right. But that's level 5. We don't get there. That's the that's.
Oh, okay. Let me shut up now. Let me be quiet.
But that's good that you're thinking. That's actually good that you're thinking that, because some people don't even. That's the problem. That's what he's saying. Nobody thinks. A lot of people don't get there.
Oh, I
Like
think like that, but it
exactly.
it took a lot of time.
It
But
took a lot of time to get there.
Part of why we're here having this conversation and
Exactly.
why I am in this this God-given mission.
Right.
To teach other. Always, I started off level 1 thinking.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
I deserve to do that, or
right. Yep. Exactly. And there's times that I still say like I need to, and I'll catch myself, because that's the thing of practicing, like instantly, once you realize that you're doing it and you know that you want to make that change, you'll catch it and you'll start to make the change,
And it's a mixture, because like I said, I can most of the time think in affirmations, and then and then let's say 15 or 10% of the time I'm like panicked. I need to, and that's what it does. It makes me feel anxious. And as soon as, because I've had the years of suffering with anxiety, and thank God that I don't suffer with that in the same way that I used to. Because of that, I instantly recognize, and I'm like, wait, hold up, this isn't the right type of thinking. Let me switch it. But that's how I had to be cognizant of it and go ahead and go to a higher level of thinking.
Right, exactly. And that's exactly what, that's the whole point of the book, is trying to change, change the way that we think about ourselves and in our situations, so it's just, it's like trying to change that, try to do a new programming, a new way of like looking at our situations, the way that we look at ourselves, the way we look at other people too, because that affects it too. So then he talks about level 4, which is, that's the better you, that's the better you. It's just a new picture of yourself. It's the present tense, and it's how you choose to be. And this actually works for you. And this is where you say, I am. You're not saying I no longer. You're not saying I can't. You're not saying I need to. You're just saying I am, and you do it. Like you say, I am going to the gym. I am, working out. I am eating healthier. I am. Everything is I am. Because and even if you feel like
I'm a billionaire.
Exactly. I am a billionaire. I am.
I am in perfect health. Come on now, let's go affirmation.
Everything is I am, so and that's what it's really about. Everything is about I am. Everything, because if you can't say it, then how is it going to actually be? How is it going to be? And that's so the fifth one is the actual universal affirmation, which is it is. How can it be? And that's what he talks about. Like, how can you say if you keep as long as you keep saying that I am, it will be. That's exactly what it's going to be, because you actually manifest these things. One thing my mom always told me, I used to always say, I'm broke. She goes, no, you're not. We don't say that around here.
That is
we do not say
verse. That is a powerful
She gets so mad. She gets so mad when I think I seen somebody was saying it. I think Somebody was saying in the comments on the Dollar Group Club was saying,
Somebody was saying in the comments that they were broke.
yeah, they were saying like how they changed the way that they're saying things, like
Oh, nice.
changing the way that how they were saying things about the whole the being broke. you know,
Yeah, for real. It's a thing.
and it's a huge thing. You keep saying you broke, guess what? You ain't gonna have no money.
Broke. That's what it was. You said, I am broke. And
Right.
there's an affirmation.
It's an affirmation.
I am broke.
I
It's
am
an
broke.
affirmation, right? So it's like your reality is, it is.
It is. That's the reality of
It is
it.
what it is.
It
And
is what it
also,
is.
and also you are exactly what you say you are, whether or not
Exactly.
it's in the negative or if it's in the positive. You are what you say
Right.
you are, and your actions have to back that.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
You
Action
can't
have
just
to
say and
back.
think things without no actions, but you can't have no actions without thinking it first.
Exactly. And that's just really what it is. Like, you want to make sure that the words that are coming out of your mouth is
The
exactly what
words
you
that
want
are
it to
coming
be.
out of my mouth.
Exactly. You want to make sure that it's exactly what you want it to be, because in the book he says 70% of what we say to ourselves is negative. It's
Yeah,
like,
that.
what?
Yep.
I'm like, no, no, no. I gotta change that, because you can't tell me that 30% of the only thing that I'm saying to myself is positive. Like, I need to like flip the script. I need to make sure, and I even have those moments often. So as soon as I have those moments, I was like, okay, what do I need to? Monday, I took a self care day. I didn't want to see nobody. I didn't want to talk to nobody. I went and got myself a massage.
Good
I
for
worked
you.
out. I didn't want to, because I'm just like, okay, let me make sure that if I can't take care of everybody else and not take care of myself.
That's right.
So
That's
because
right.
and then again talk about this book about setting boundaries. So I'm like, you know what? Let me read some more. Like,
Yeah, do what you here's my little box right here. I'ma step in
exactly.
it. Don't mess with me. Don't
Don't
do nothing. Let me stay here
exactly.
and do what I gotta do for myself. But your
Exactly.
thoughts, right?
Your
Your thoughts,
thoughts.
like what
Your
are you
thoughts.
thinking?
What are you thinking? What are you really saying to yourself? What are you saying to yourself? So I want us to do this activity, and I'll tell you what it is, but I'm actually going to post a picture of it so you can actually have an idea of what it looks like. So you're going to get a
All
piece of
right,
paper.
members, listen up, listen up, listen up. This is your homework.
You're going to get a piece of paper, and you're going to draw like a T, like, okay, just like a T. And on one side, you're going to say, I am, and on the other side, you're going to say, I am not. And you're going to write down, set yourself a timer for 3 minutes. And I want you to write down everything that you are, everything. It doesn't have to, and let me tell you something. When I did this activity, I do this for my clients. It's hard to really think like you, and you got to really think like you can say whatever. You can say, I'm a billionaire. I am a world traveler. I am whatever, just whatever you,
All of that.
because remember, you want these things to manifest, right? So you're going to write down every single thing that you are, even if they are not what they are now, but you want them to be. Remember, because it's the affirmation. What you say now can be what they can be that. They
Yeah.
are going to be that. So you're going to write down in that first column. For 3 minutes, you're going to say what I am, and then in the next column. Now, I think this is the hardest part. For the next 3 minutes, you're going to say what you're not. And I think like every time I do this activity, I always say like, I am not nervous. I am not anxious. I am not, but then I start to think, I'm like, it is really hard to think of the things that we're not, because
Mm.
we don't want to say it out loud, like,
Yeah.
we
So are
don't.
these things that like maybe you used to suffer with, or like maybe you're currently suffering with, or you just don't want in your life? Like, let's
Yeah.
say, for instance, which this is not true, but just for example, let's say I suffered with diabetes, and I say,
Yes.
I am not suffering with diabetes,
Yes.
something like that. Okay.
Exactly. You can say all of that. You can say all that because maybe diabetes run in your family. So you can say that. You can say, like, I am not, like, if you know that you have family members that have passed from cancer, you can say, I am not a cancer patient. You know, like it can be whatever. You want to make sure, because remember, you are voicing these things that you thinking about, things that you worry about, especially on the I am not side. You want to think about those negative thoughts that constantly ring in your head when you are trying to change habits and you're trying to change behaviors and you're trying to change these negative thoughts. You want to put those negative thoughts on that I am not side, because you want to make sure that those are true. You want to make those true. You're not depressed. You're not, angry. You're not selfish. You're not emotional. You're not lonely. You want to say all of that on the I am not side. Okay, so that's what we're doing for the homework.
Got it. I like it. Wait, so it's a T, like a cross.
It's like a cross.
So on one side, on the other side. Now, what about the bottom two quadrants? Is anything going those two?
No, it's just a T. It's just a T, and then you just, one side is I am, other side is I am not.
Got you. Okay, so when they're setting this up,
When I say T, yep. When I say T, I mean a capital T.
Capital T at the top of it. On one side you have I am, and then everything below that is the list, and then on the other side, not below that is okay. Good, because like I say, I'm a little slow sometimes.
No, it's okay. That's why I said I'm going to take a picture. I'm going to take a picture and I'll post it in the group so everybody can kind of have a visual, and I'll even write a couple examples in there too.
Perfect. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for that. That was a good little 1-2 punch today. No negative self-talk. Okay?
No negative self-talk. Yes.
No negative self-talk. All right. Well, have a great day. Thank you for that, Coach.
Yes, you too.
And, we'll get back at it next week. Next week, remember, I'm doing the retreat to Cape Town. So we're doing the social wellness, our wine, solar return and wine discovery in Cape Town. So it's gonna be lit. So everybody who's coming with me on that, that's where I will be. I don't know if I'm going to be able to be. I kind of highly doubt that I'm going to be able to be on next week. So you might got to hold it down without me. But, we'll be back at it. We'll be back at it. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day, y'all.